Thanks very much for staying with us. Time now for Eye on Africa with me, Georgia Calvin-Smith. Tonight, the Malian city of Gao's shut down after an Arab youth and black soldier are killed. Both communities blame each other for the deaths. Also, last year's Morocco's unemployment rate topped 10%. Young people are finding it particularly tough to find work. Many are graduates struggling to find ways to apply their years of study. And Nigeria's Mona Lisa sells for a record £1.2 million at auction in London. Before going under the hammer, Ben Enwonwu's portrait of an African princess was missing for decades before being discovered in a UK flat. But first, tensions between black and Arab communities led to the shutdown of the northern Malian city of Gao on Thursday. Shopkeepers there didn't open for business in protest over the murder of an Arab man. Meanwhile, black youths are up in arms over the death of a soldier reportedly killed on Wednesday night. Nicolas Remar tells us more.
In Gao, the biggest town in northern Mali, the Songhaï community is angry. It accuses Arab residents of having killed a soldier on Wednesday evening.
What we're seeing here are tensions between the two communities. There's no security for civilians here in Gao. This is very clear.
Leaders of the Songhais tried to calm the crowd. The two communities usually live side by side peacefully.
The message we sent out to the youth is that we're monitoring this issue closely. We want to deal with it in a comprehensive and constructive manner.
Arab traders fearing violence closed down their shops. Last week, 2 of them went missing. Later, one of their bodies was found in the river Niger. The authorities hope calm will prevail in this already unstable region. The area is regularly the target of jihadist attacks against civilians and soldiers from Mali, France and the United Nations. Since 2015, attacks have also occurred in the nearby border areas inside Niger and Burkina Faso. That's why the G5 Sahel force was created. It regroups troops from those 3 countries as well as Mauritania and Chad. 5,000 soldiers will join the force. It is expected to be fully operational this summer.
Around a third of Morocco's population is under 25, and more than half of young people living in cities are unemployed. College graduates are particularly frustrated about the lack of jobs. Our correspondents report.
Here in Morocco, over 40% of the country's urban youth are unemployed. Every day, job seekers hit up employment agencies like this one. The problem, according to many observers, education that doesn't match the job market.
In Morocco, the problem is training. We have young people who don't know how to do anything when they graduate from university or school. We have a lot of dropouts, and we need to reform the secondary and higher education system. It has become urgent. Social tensions could become a problem.
The Moroccan economy is indeed struggling to absorb the some 130,000 graduates arriving on the labor market each year. At job-hunting workshops organized by Morocco's National Employment Agency, the education level is high. Bachelor's degrees, engineering degrees, even degrees earned abroad.
It makes me a bit uneasy with regards to the Moroccan market because there is so much to change and grow. It's too bad for the recruiters. They don't even know these profiles exist.
With money tight, some agreed to subsidized back-to-work contracts paid at minimum wage, the equivalent of just €250 per month.
I couldn't find a job, so I had to take this. It was the only offer, so I accepted it.
In an effort to boost the labor market, Morocco often touts the merits of entrepreneurship as a solution to the unemployment of its young graduates. For Ismail Lassini, business coach, the equation isn't so simple.
To think of entrepreneurship as a direct solution, can't find a job, so start a business, it's very simplistic and it doesn't work. For a person who can't find a job or someone in an environment where there are no opportunities, it's too much to ask them to become an employer.
In a sign that concern over youth unemployment reaches the highest level, Morocco's king recently said the country's development model was leaving its youth, more than 1/3 of its population, behind.
In Uganda, around 2 million people live with disability. Getting access to support or help for physical limitations can be difficult. Although campaigners are trying to get the government and more employers to offer options to people with disabilities, it can be difficult to change attitudes. However, one young man is being hailed as an inspiration by turning his creativity into a viable business. Take a look.
He
He's had limited movement in his limbs since he contracted polio as a baby. But that hasn't stopped Simon Lotaya from learning to adapt to the demands of everyday life. The 27-year-old is even using his feet to stitch his designs onto nylon mats.
I do this art so that I can get money for no interest and my mother.
Simon's artwork carries different messages. He also sells them using social media. Today, the young Ugandan lives with his mother and other relatives who help him market his crafts.
He wants to be better each and every day. He's so inspiring. I myself, he inspires me because whenever I look at him, even if I have a problem, I'm like, it will be solved.
About 2 million Ugandans live with a disability. That's according to the country's Ministry of Health. Many have limited access to education, healthcare and employment.
Some employers think actually employing a person with disability is more expensive because then we have to buy him a wheelchair, we have to buy him a white cane, we have to buy him this and that. But they forget what is critical is whether this guy is delivering the targets we need and doing the job and is productive. That's the most important thing.
According to local unions, employers are not doing enough to recruit and retain employees with disabilities.
Known as the African Mona Lisa, artist Ben Enwonwu's long-lost portrait of a Nigerian princess has smashed estimates at auction in London and sold for £1.2 million. The masterpiece disappeared for 40 years before being discovered in a London flat. Julia Kim tells us more.
Surpassing all expectations, the painting fetched over €1.36 million, more than 4 times the sum predicted. It was painted in 1974 by Nigerian artist Benedict Enwonwu and depicts a Nigerian princess nicknamed Tutu. But after its exhibition in Lagos in 1975, it vanished, only to turn up 40 years later.
We went to this modest North London flat and there really is Tutu. It was an incredible moment. The owners are a very modest family and had absolutely no idea of the value of the painting.
Baptized the African Mona Lisa, the portrait became a symbol of national unity after the country's civil war in the 1960s. Like all masterpieces, Tutu's significance has only grown with time, and Ben Enwonwu's supporters are overjoyed at the sale.
We're very happy that at least modern Nigerian art has begun to get its actual value.
To have that artist's work validated in the global marketplace is almost sort of a coming of age of Nigerian modern art.
Enwonwu painted 3 versions of Princess Tutu. The 2 others remain lost.
Well, that's it for Eye on Africa for now. Thanks for joining us. Do so again. Take care.